Greetings, Kaiju collectors and Kaiju fans. It's Thomas here, and today we have yet another quick review, and this time it is the Sunguts Shin Godzilla. And as you can see, I got a couple here, and this is actually my first Sunguts Shin of this size. And I was on the fence for a while. I mean, I've seen these posted around in the Kaiju groups. I've seen pictures of them, and I always thought they were kind of interesting. I wasn't sure if I would like them. I was already getting the X Plus, and I had Bandai ones, and I think I also picked up the awesome Passion Tank versions, and I thought that was enough. But there was a friend selling a bunch of his Sunguts Shins, and I just kept looking at them and going, man, these actually look pretty good. And after some debate, I just decided to get these two. And doing a little bit of research, I found out that these actually were released at Wonderfest 2022. And obviously these are the fourth form Shin. This one, I'm not sure what this one was called, if it was called anything at all. But this is more of a standard looking Shin, and that's what I wanted. This one that looked like a regular Shin. And this one here caught my eye pretty immediately. I thought for a second this was actually like the frozen Shin. I mean, I don't know if he turned, he didn't turn white, but he looked like he looked like in the film he changed color a little bit. So I thought they gave it a little bit more of an exaggerated look. But doing more research, like I said earlier, someone said this is kind of like a skeletal looking Shin. I said, kind of it does, but I'm not sure. But these came out in 2022 Wonderfest, and they are really cool. And yeah, I'm actually really liking these Sunguts. So I'm really glad that I got these two. And you'll also notice that these guys are pretty big and definitely larger than your standard Sofubi. When I measured them, they were about 12.5, almost 13 inches. So I would say average, if you just average it out, it's 13 inches tall. And that's quite massive for a Sofubi. And they came in a standard bag and just a very basic header. Yeah, it does say 2022 on here. It doesn't say anything else. I can't translate what it says on here other than Sunguts factory made in Japan. So yeah, so that is about it with my first initial impressions. I thought these look really fantastic, and I was told that there really doesn't have that there isn't very much paint on this. This is more like a marbled vinyl. So that's how they achieve this really interesting appearance. This one here, there is actually some paint on the nails, the eyes, and the toenails. So that part has been airbrushed on, and I think the teeth were maybe carefully painted. But otherwise, I mean, there's really no paint on here. It's a marbled vinyl. First time I ever heard of that. So let's get some close-ups of these guys, and then some comparisons and my final thoughts. And let's do that right now. All right, for comparison number one, we have a couple of smaller Sunguts Shin Godzilla, and these are actually my first Sunguts Shin Godzillas, and these are a couple of custom painted ones, and very nicely done at that. Here's I want to say it's a little bit more of a top-down view of the four figures together. For our next comparison, we have a Passion Tank Shin Godzilla, and this is a custom version one by Kaiju Canvas. And as you can see here, it is a bit smaller than your Sunguts version, and that is by the height and also the overall dimensions. The Passion Tank is smaller. However, the Passion Tank has quite a bit of a longer tail, and a really nice one at that. For our next comparison, we have the X Plus 25 centimeter Shin Godzilla, and this one is a custom painted one as well. And once again, you'll notice that this figure is a bit smaller compared to the Sunguts, but it does have a longer tail. Alright, for our final comparisons, we have a few figures, and to the left we have the Bandai 4th Form Godzilla. In the center we have a Nakajima M1 figure. To the right we have the NECA Shin Godzilla, and in the center on the top we have the 2nd Form Shin Godzilla by Bandai. And I think for one more special size comparison, in the center we have the Medicom Giant Shin Godzilla, and this guy's probably closer to like 14 inches. Okay, and I'm back. I hope you guys liked my quick close-ups and comparisons, and I think these figures are fantastic, and I actually highly recommend, if you guys were on the fence on this, to definitely pick it up. I think I'm happy with these two here. When I initially got these, there was a few others that I was looking at. There's some that have some glitter and some interesting, there was interesting paint applications on them. And I think there was also even a glow-in-the-dark one. And I was debating on those, and when I was debating and I hesitated, it sold, of course. And I was like, oh, why didn't I get that one? It looked so cool. I think there was some purple on one. Apparently they made a bunch of different versions of this using this particular sculpt. And so, you basically can find, I'm sure you can find one that's to your liking. But I went ahead and added a couple of little friends. I think these are the M1 larva. That's with those twins, the fairy twins. So I just went ahead and put that on there for fun. So final thoughts. I give this a very high score. I think these are pretty cool. Their facial features, it looks kind of scary. I mean, the overall appearance, but it looks rather charming. Kind of like your typical like marmot safubi. It gives them a definite. You can recognize which figure or which character kaiju it is. I mean, and yet it just looks so interesting. I don't know. It just doesn't look that menacing with that face. It's kind of cute, and I think that's one thing that's a little bit different than comparing this one like with the Passion Tank. The Passion Tank one looks a little bit more meaner, but once again that's cool because it separates the two brands, and I think this it makes this one stand out on its own without having to worry about competition necessarily. So yeah, that is it, guys. I think this is a fantastic couple of figures by Sunguts. If you guys were interested in picking up a Shin, this is one that I would consider getting. I was just going to get one, but I have two, and I'm really cool that it's really cool that I got both because they're very different. So that is it for this review. I do have a 1K giveaway on my channel, so if you guys can subscribe, share, like, comment, I would appreciate it. I have a couple items that I have lined up. As we get a little bit closer, I will reveal what they are. So once again, thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more, and you guys take care, and I'll be back. Bye-bye.